Hello, Exiles. This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and today I want to talk about something that happened in the POE community once again. This is something that brought up a couple of previous thoughts I've had as far as what constitutes exploits, what constitutes cheating, what kind of is the line to be drawn for being banned. And the reason I bring that up is because I saw that Chris Wilson himself had posted that 20 users had been banned for exploiting an exploit abuse. And so we know one of the groups, or we suspect one of the groups, is also somebody who was already under fire from the community for kind of a bad take they had during the whole streamer priority thing. So a little bit of something there. And I'm not going to be the one to condone or condemn either the activities of these players or of GGG. I just want to talk about thought I've had as far as exploits and that kind of thing in Path of Exile. So this brings up a topic. So I'm going to explain what I think the exploit probably was. There's a couple of different exploits related. I didn't actually try them, or I haven't seen a video of people doing them or a stream of people doing them. So I'm not for sure, but I think from what I've read and from what I had heard people talking about, there were a couple of different things, and the one that I believe got people banned was basically using ultimatum to get infinite loot and experience. The way they would do that is they'd play in a group, and in an ultimatum that has the survival duration, they would have a majority of the group stay within the circle, but then have somebody leave the circle in order to extend the time basically infinitely. I believe you could leave up to like 4 seconds or something like that. You can leave for a certain duration and then re-enter, and it'll reset that fail state of leaving the circle. I don't know how it works in groups. Maybe one person can just stay outside indefinitely without failing the encounter. But yeah, basically they would have that happen, and the monsters would continue to spawn, and they'd continue to kill them, and thus get an infinite amount, as much as they want, as much as they were willing to sit and kill, of loot and experience. And so that would, that would mean one map you could potentially level up to level 100, get hundreds of exalts, farm until you get a mirror. I don't know if that's feasible. Everything drops at the end, but yeah, you would get as much as you want or need out of the encounter. Another thing I heard people talking about earlier was the stone circle one, where you could just opt not to go into the stone circles to end the encounter and just keep fighting enemies. I don't know if that one worked or not, if that was something that could happen. And from what I understand, the issue was that unlike, say, Heist League, where there was or the Heist Encounters, where there's diminishing return on the experience, and I believe also loot dropped by the enemies that spawn infinitely, so you can't just keep fighting there end to end. Unlike that, Ultimatum did not seem to have that in place, as you could see in Chris Wilson's thing here. He says that we we deployed a hotfix that capped the amount of experience and items that Ultimatum could yield. So previously there wasn't that in place. And so, yeah, people could just abuse this. And one of the issues I have with this, and I don't have an issue with the banning, it's GGG's game, but I do have an issue with kind of the clarity on what constitutes an exploit. Because, as I said, I was kind of aware that there were going to be exploits with this, but I opted not to engage with them or even acknowledge them because, the risk of getting banned or just it wouldn't be fun for me. There was a similar experience last league, and part of the reason I want to talk about this is because it kind of makes me a little bit confused on where that line is drawn. Last league, of course, you had the area of the map Voldo's Rest. You got your Harbingers, and early on in the league they were really overtuned. If you got the part of the tree in Voldo's Rest that gives you Harbingers are escorted by their buddies, you'd get like a dozen Harbingers per map. And in the beginning, they were dropping mirror shards very often, which obviously can warp the economy very quickly. That's a lot of currency. They did nerf that. They still dropped good currency, and people continued to use Valdo's Rest after they fixed that throughout the rest of the league. And after I saw that had been fixed, I personally engaged with Valdo's Rest very often, despite the fact that it dropped my frames to like 0, really messed up my FPS. But I did it anyway because I liked all of the Exalt shards and stuff I got out of it. But you know, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe anyone was banned for that. And I don't even think there were rollbacks. And I didn't follow that too closely at the time because I was kind of busy playing. But I think they just kind of went on with the league after that. And there was another instance, something that's been happening for a while now. So we have the Sextant mod that allows you to have tormented spirits, things that are inhabited by tormented spirits would drop to winged scarabs. And so with the inclusion, I think this was also last league that this became prominent. So with the inclusion of Maven, and you would get the watchstones that you could take out and replicate, you could basically, and trade and that kind of thing, you could use a sextant to put this modifier. It was very rare, but once you got it, you'd put it on one of these watchstones, and then you could actually use the beast recipe to duplicate them. And they did fix that this league, but people basically flooded the economy with winged scarabs. You could just infinitely run this modifier over and over again, and you would always get winged scarabs. And I don't think winged scarabs were meant to be this resource that dropped like crazy, but they ended up being, because of this exploit, just absolutely an insane amount of them pumped into the economy, because you could just keep duplicating and selling, and with the money you would get from selling that, you could buy more beast crafts, and the loop continues. You'd buy more duplication beast crafts, you would keep splitting, or you'd keep duplicating the stone, etc., etc. Now, these things are part of the mechanics of the game, but so was the ultimatum exploit. Things that are very clearly exploits that aren't part of the game mechanics are things like duplicating items with the guild stash. I completely understand rolling back characters, rolling back items, and issuing bans for that. That doesn't need to be explained to me at all. But sometimes when it's the game mechanic itself, it seems like a weird line. Same thing with like RMT. RMT is very clearly against the terms of service. Nobody reads the terms of service, but everybody knows that RMT is against it. GGG has made it very clear. That being said, RMT is still a thing because I constantly get offers from companies that run RMT sites over the last couple of years, maybe less so recently, but I had gotten a lot of offers. They're like, hey, we'll give you like $200 if you want to like throw away your integrity and dupe your followers into paying real money for Path of Exile items. So yeah, just make a video real quick, Ryan, and go ahead and shill out some RMT sites. And I have to be like, no, this is on Discord or through email I get these. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Please don't contact me. Block, remove from my Discord server, get rid of the email. And I don't know if there are people who actually do take those sponsorship offers, but yeah, obviously I wouldn't risk getting banned, and I don't like to engage in RMT. I don't like that it's a thing. Even if it was legal, I wouldn't engage in it. It's one of those things. It just wouldn't be fun for me. I'm not firmly against it in every game, but if GGG says no to RMT for me, that's what I'm saying. And also, even if they didn't say no. Anyway, that was a little bit of a off-topic thing. But yeah, there are things that are clearly things that need to be banned for. But my point being, and what I just want to get down is, where is that line exactly? Where is the line where if you are taking advantage of a certain in-game system, does it become a bannable exploit? And I think that's something that's would be interesting to talk about. So yeah, let me know what you think of this, and whether you think maybe I don't know who's responsible here. What things do you think maybe should have been considered as exploits in the past? That kind of thing in the comment section below. Even if I can't respond to all your comments. The last few videos, there have been a lot of comments. I've had a hard time getting through them, but I do read as many of them as I can. So yeah, just let me know. And this has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming. I thought this was interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.